Hey everyone, we are Day One Update. My name is Greg and I'm joined by...
Hi, I'm Air.
Hi, I'm Gulzar.
And we're going to do a different type of recording this time. So The Witcher has come out, the Netflix TV series based on the game, and the books. But what we're going to do is we're going to watch an episode and then we'll record like 5-10 minutes of thoughts on that episode. And then we're going to watch the next episode and then keep going and keep recording after the episode.
By the way, we got a new studio.
Well, not really.
We have a TV in our studio.
Yeah, we have a TV in our studio now. So it's gonna be edited a bit, so there's gonna be a few cuts, and we'll let you know when we're gonna continue on to the next episode. But we have watched the first episode, and we're gonna give our thoughts on the first episode.
How much time do we want to give per episode? I'll set a timer.
7 minutes, maybe.
Okay, I'm doing 5 minutes, and then we have to shut up.
Okay,
cool.
So that's really short.
All right, good talking. Let's go.
All right. So in this episode, we didn't really have that many characters introduced. We got Geralt introduced, Stregobor, and
Renfrey, Ciri,
Ciri's
mom, grandma, the king, the magic guy that was with her. There's a lot of characters,
but a lot of main characters. Geralt was the main one.
So going forward, Geralt and
what do you guys think of this episode overall? Like,
first of all,
how does it lay out down your impressions for the rest of the series?
And before we start that, none of us know anything about the books, really.
Oh, we forgot about the best character of all. Roach.
Yeah, Roach.
Right. All of us are pretty much just game fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
I might know like a couple things here and there because of the wiki from the books, but not really the whole lot.
So I've never read any of the books. I've just played the games.
Which games?
I've played the first one for a few hours. Played the second one for a couple minutes, and I played the third one for too many hours.
You played the second one with me.
Yeah.
All you did in the third one was play Gwent.
No. Yeah. I've done a lot of other stuff too.
Okay. But the main thing is
he's only ever played Gwent.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've played a significant amount of the third game, and the rest of it, not the rest of it.
You played a significant amount of Gwent.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, everything I didn't see in my playthrough, I saw in Airs.
I played all the third one. I played all the second one, and I played most of the first one.
Okay, so you're the one who knows the most about the Witcher world.
Games.
Through the games, yes.
Yeah.
Let's start with your impressions so far. How's
Wait. How spoiler are we getting? It is...
Well, we're going episode by episode, so
yes.
I guess we could go in as deep as we want.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's
the warning for this entire podcast. There will be spoilers throughout the whole podcast.
How about
through
for
the episodes?
How about for episode 1 we just don't do spoilers, but for the rest of the episodes we'll do spoilers per.
But this whole podcast is going to be episode 1 through whatever. We're doing small recordings in chunks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So, my personal thoughts on this episode, I thought it was great. It gave great insight onto the world of Geralt.
It was like the video game.
Yeah, and Geralt basically is the perfect. Henry Cavill is playing the perfect role of Geralt in terms of voice acting and just his personality being completely offhandish, where he's like very off in his own world when he talks to people. And it kind of gave that sense of magic through introducing Stregobor in this first episode as well, right? So it kind of gave a full impression of what this world is going to entail. And I thought it was great. The first scene was him fighting the Kikamora, right? So you got a sense of Geralt fighting a monster. So there's monsters in this world.
And then immediately after, they're like, oh, yeah, we don't care if you hunt monsters.
I don't know.
You're a freak.
I don't know if it was because of the projector we were using, right? Or... I didn't feel like the CG was up to snuff in that fight.
The Kikamora?
Yeah. It felt a little weird looking.
It was a TV series.
Yeah, but everything else looked amazing.
Everything else looked amazing, but the CG is always going to be kind of spotty-ish.
No, but when he did the CG for his hand, right, that looked good.
The monster's different.
That's a lot easier than a full moving monster, right?
That is true.
Yeah, so the first scene we saw was him fighting the Kikamora, then you go directly into the town of Blaviken, where you get the sense of feeling where Geralt is hated, right? No one really likes him. He's on his own thing. Like people were ready to attack him in the bar. Like, I was cheering for a bar fight. I'm like, oh, are we going to get an introductory bar fight?
Yeah.
But then, no, we didn't. Because Renfrey came out of nowhere.
And he's fine with it. Like
he's completely used to it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is his life. He doesn't care. He just wants to kill monsters, get the money, and leave. Right? So you got that full sense of the character, of the world, of how people react to him within 10 minutes of the first of the episode.
Yeah, it was great. And the choreography.
The choreography.
Choreography was great.
Yeah.
Right? With his sword, the one fight he did, oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah,
The hits really...
I'm going to go ahead and
Right.
add a couple of minutes because
This is
we're at
introductory-
40 seconds.
This is introductory as well.
Okay.
So then he meets Stregobor, and then Stregobor tells him to kill Renfrey, right?
Do we know how many episodes this is?
8 episodes.
8 episodes? We could do 10 minutes per episode.
Yeah, probably, yeah. 10 minutes will be fine then. 80 minutes, yeah. So, yeah, then we get to Stregobor, gives us a whole sense of the magic, and then we get into the whole meat of the episode between Stregobor and Renfrey. The whole dilemma between these two characters.
So the way they set it up, like the way they told and kind of exposed the world, it's pretty clever because, all right, we know we know monsters exist, scene 1.
Yeah.
We know witchers are hated, scene 2.
Yeah.
We know magic exists, scene 3, and we see an extent of it. It's like, okay, first thing we see are a bunch of illusions, and like Geralt is dressed differently, and this is what illusions affect. And then Stregobor goes into the whole, born under the moon, there are witches do this, they're crazy and stuff like that.
But then we get, then the Stregobor gives his whole explanation on Renfrey being evil, and then we meet Renfrey, who gives her side of the story, and it's completely different.
Yeah, it's like Air was saying, it's just a video game. Hey, you're given 2 options, you got to pick a route.
Yeah, and either route you pick,
Now
it sucks.
Yeah.
Now I can see why the CD Projekt Red was like, we want to make this into a game because half the work is done for us.
Yeah, it's so jokes because like you see Stregobor, his magical side of the world, where he's saying all these superstitions and that they came true, that Renfrey is a witch and stuff like that. Then you meet Renfrey and she's like, all just because my birth and stuff aligned with this sort of thing, he believes in these superstitions and he attacked me out of nowhere. So it's a completely different side.
I was worried about Henry Cavill being Geralt, but after the first episode, he is Geralt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the voice down like exactly the same as the
demeanor.
games.
He is to Geralt what I feel like Hugh Jackman is to Wolverine.
And like leading up to the series, I was looking at a lot of interviews. He knows his shit about the series.
He straight up was like, "Yeah, I'd rather be playing Witcher 3 in a basement than hang out at parties and stuff like that."
Yeah,
like Witcher and Warhammer, and it's like this guy knows Warhammer 40K stuff. Damn, I don't know Warhammer 40K stuff.
Like I remember so many people were trying to because everyone knew he played Witcher, so a lot of interviews' purpose were trying to trick him to give him questions and quizzing him on Witcher, and he answered them all.
Yeah.
Like he knew everything. So he was perfect for this because he had that passion as well.
Yeah. And the other character that we have some say on is Ciri. What do you think of Ciri?
Ciri, we didn't see much of her.
Yeah,
I felt like we saw enough.
There's a lot of
just
room
enough
for character development, which I like.
Yeah.
Right? And she right now she's a blank slate, and we have some stuff filling in with her.
We know a few things about her from this episode. Is that one? She is kind of doesn't like the whole formality of herself being the princess. She doesn't like the sitting down at dinners with them,
being
or
forced
dancing
to do a
with
dance
other
with,
people.
She's a
stuff
bit
like
of a tomboy.
She doesn't like that stuff, which again is like the book. Ciri hated that. I'm at the game. Ciri hated that. And then we also get the sense of her towards the end of the episode that she has some sort of abilities, right? So she's
No, that was it. Yeah, because the scene I was thinking of next is actually in episode 2. So I'm not gonna talk about that.
Well, we saw like 10 minutes of episode 2, then we fell asleep.
Well, you two fell asleep. I was literally talking to myself like, "Yo, you guys think that?" And you didn't respond. I'm like, "Oh, they look like they're just focusing."
So episode ends with her running away. She was getting kidnapped. We skipped over like a lot. So
yeah, well, we don't have to do like the play-by-play.
I know, but I'm just saying
Okay,
that
go
was
on.
really loud.
Can't stop.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry for all your headphone users.
But I'm talking about like the
Blame
whole
Gulzar.
sense of the world as well. So we have the Kingdom of Sintra and Kingdom of Nilfgaard, and Nilfgaard attacks Sintra. That scene of the epic battle, the overwhelming numbers that
that was
Nilfgaard
great.
had over Sintra. Like you see one hill come, like holy shit, that's a lot of people. Then the hill in front, there's more people coming, like holy shit, that's a lot of people.
The cinematography,
The
cinematography.
cinematography, right? Is
it was done great.
Yeah.
Right? The shots, the panning, everything was done great.
You could see on their faces too when the first people came over the hill. They're like, "Shit, that's quite a few, but I think we could
Yeah, we'll manage.
we can manage."
And then
the second
second-
group coming like,
we're like,
you see the queen's face. She's like, "This is the end."
Yeah.
But they charged in. They still ran in, and the queen was the first down.
I love
Right?
there
Like,
were so many callbacks to towns. I'm like, I've been there in the game. I've been there in the game.
There was one conversation where it's like, yeah, we can get the skips from Skellige and Novigrad, and I'm just hearing Air go, yeah, I know that.
I was there.
should we talk about the time thing between them?
Let's not.
Is that
Let's not.
Yeah, because it might be more. Okay, let's just say it like this: Gurkamol has called something pretty early in advance that we think might be like a plot twist later on, but it was very well telegraphed enough that Gurkamol found out right away.
So yeah, we're gonna watch a few more episodes and figure out if that thing becomes more prevalent or if that's
Yeah.
like the major story point, the biggest twist. Right? They already hinted at it in the first episode, so we're gonna see how that plays out.
Yeah.
But this episode, like we'll just give our quick overviews now. This episode was, I think, a really good introduction to the world of The Witcher, and the characters as well, the main character.
Yeah.
It gave a full interpretation of what you would expect from Geralt and what you would expect from this world.
And
love
another thing I like is the weapon choices
Yeah.
and the armor, all very unique.
The
Right? We got to see a few different styles of swords already,
Mhm.
right? And we had magic, different types of magic already. I just hope going forward there are more monster fights.
Yeah.
There probably will be. Yeah.
I like the fact that he doesn't walk around with two swords. He leaves one sword on Roach because that's what he did in the books apparently.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. Why would you walk around with two swords at all time if you're a Witcher?
You don't need a silver sword in a city,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, the fight scenes were fantastic. There's a lot
Yeah.
of weight to Geralt's attacks, especially when he's fighting someone a lot smaller than him. You could feel the weight.
It was very brutal. And by the time they got to the last thug, he had the very unique sword, and he was the main
Yeah.
thug, the main bully. And I'm going like, why are you gonna last any longer? Like he doesn't deserve to last any longer, and he doesn't.
It
even-
showed Geralt's. Sorry.
Even the lighter hits, like when Renfrey was fighting Geralt, right? She obviously doesn't have the power he does, but her swiftness and her
swiftness, yeah.
agileness, like they match that.
She was using a dagger.
Yeah.
And half the time you couldn't even see where the dagger was.
Yeah.
That's how she landed those hits on Geralt.
And so I
and-
really enjoyed that too.
And then the what do you call the force push in the
I
series?
forgot what it was called.
Yeah, same. So it starts with an A, I believe.
Agni is fire.
Agni, there's Edie?
Igni is fire.
Igni.
I'll have to look it up. But yeah, like this, the fight scenes were fantastic. It was a good sense of what Geralt's fight's gonna be. Like I don't know. I love this episode.
It got my hopes up. My expectations up at least for the rest of the season. Yeah. I'm liking
Okay,
it.
so that's gonna be our take on episode 1, and then right after this, we're gonna cut into episode 2.
Yep.
So see
Stay
you.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
Goodbye.
Episode 2. Gurks.
Episode 2.
And we're back for episode 2. We just saw The Witcher episode 2 now, so we're gonna record our thoughts about it after episode 1. So what do you guys think?
Good.
Follow up to episode 1. What you guys?
It was
believe
good.
about
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Liked it.
We finally get Dandelion, aka what's he called in this? Veskier?
Beskir.
Diskier.
Jaskier.
Yeah, because that's his actual name in the non-English versions of the Witcher games as well. It's just Dandelion was a translation localization thing.
Yeah. And so this is our first introduction to Yennefer as a character as well.
Yes.
And her storyline
So
of...
I did okay. You two called it was Yennefer as soon as you saw like the hunched or like deformed figure. I'm like, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. No, Yennefer. So I didn't know she made herself beautiful with magic. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
That's
something like
her
that.
deal.
Yeah, something like that. She had a deformity in the beginning.
Interesting.
And now we know what it is or why it is. Right. It was due to spoilers.
Well, yeah,
Right. Yeah. It's due to her quarter
elf blood
Yeah.
heritage. Or so she says. She says she was cursed because her father was half elf, but
Yeah.
we don't know if that's
So
necessarily true.
since she said that, we know that her family that sold her for 4 marks is not her true family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's either adopted or just taken in as a slave, it seemed like. 'Cause she was treated like shit. In her
That or
hometown.
maybe her father died and the mom remarried.
That
Something like
also
that.
could be the
Yeah,
case. Yeah.
Or maybe the mom just cheated with a half elf. That could also happen.
Yeah. Okay.
I really thought it was interesting where the relationship between Yennefer and the helpful sorcerer guy. What's his name? The dude that she kissed.
Istrid.
Istrid, yeah.
It was really interesting because the moment they had their kiss moment, Yennefer goes to her master. Is like, all right, I totally betrayed him. And then Istrid goes to that bastard from episode 1.
Stregobar.
Yeah, Stregobar. Totally
So
betrayed her.
they're both spying on each other.
Yeah.
To get information. I guess Stregobar wants information on the leader of the Artusa school, which is what was her name? Tisaya, something like that. And Tisaya is trying to spy on that guy because I guess I don't know. Like, does she know he has a connection to Stregobar or something? I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's cool because I don't think they know the story, but the witch and the sorcerer are fighting each other in some way, right? So they're using them as pawns, and it's fun. But I want to talk about Ciri for a second.
Yep.
First episode we saw her in her palace and stuff, and how she was kind of tomboyish, right? Second episode, she showed more of her character, how she's nice, right, and how she's sympathetic to the lesser or the poorer people, right?
Poor.
And
Yeah.
but also she's smart. Like one of the first scenes we see her, she's running through the forest. She knows she has blonde hair. What she do? She grabs mud and turns her hair brown.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think it took her 3 days to do that, though.
But like either way, like she's royalty. Why would that be in her head? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Also, as soon as that one person in the line said, "Man, fuck the queen," she immediately was okay. I gotta make sure I don't say my real name.
Says her name is Fiona.
Yeah.
There's it's kind of like yeah, Ciri did play sort of interesting. Well, she was asked for Geralt and she still couldn't find Geralt, and then she finds out that the person who helped her was he a elf or was a half elf?
Elf.
Full on elf, right?
I guess, yeah.
Was this Dara?
Yeah.
I think his name was. Yeah, and she didn't react in like a terrible way. She's like, "Oh, you're an elf. Thanks."
Yeah.
Right? Straight up, like
Yeah.
with no side thing to it.
She seems kind of like, not flawless, but she seems like there's not like any like royal upbringing nonsense with her.
And she didn't overreact when she heard her talking shit about her mom,
How
her grandmother.
dare you? No,
Right?
she's smart enough to.
Yeah.
like I said, she got smart.
And we also have the whole. There's 3 parts of this episode. So we had the Ciri part, the Yennefer part, and then Geralt's part with Dandelion, where they were investigating some thefts, and they found out it was a Sylvan who was working for the old king of the elves.
Yeah. Here we see more of that the plot twist in effect.
We see more of Geralt's moral compass come into effect here.
Yeah.
He knows he could kill them to get the job, but he's like, he rather than kill him, he's like, I'll give you an alternative. Why don't you guys just leave and start a new kingdom and show the humans what you're made of?
And I like the call back to the first episode, right, and the lessons he learned from there, right. So that was cool too.
And he's like, you're living with humans. And he's like, I've learned to live with them.
Because we didn't have
Like,
we didn't have fighting in this. Like the first episode, we had fighting. It was cool, right? This one we didn't have fighting. This is the more slower moments of the thing, and it was still enjoyable
Still
to
good.
watch. Yeah.
He was he was totally ready to die at that moment. At
Yeah.
the end. Like it wasn't just employed to be like, yeah, this is what I need to say to like to be free, but so you do see like a very altruistic viewpoint from Geralt, kind of like a non-self-important to him, self-importance to him at least. You also called it pretty early that the eels at the end essentially power the.
Because when Yennefer first saw it, she's like, "Oh, these are conduits. Like you made them into conduits,
I
which
see.
is
Yeah.
sending power, right?"
Electric.
And then when she pushed it in the thing, you see it start glowing, and then you see the
whole
Like
building.
the whole building, yeah.
Lighting
No,
up.
because even before the whole building started glowing, like you called it, I'm like, oh, maybe it's just like powering this one area that someone's lightning or
No,
something.
right in the beginning, Yennefer said, "Oh, you made them like you're gonna use them as conduits."
Ah, okay.
That's where I got that from.
I see.
But yeah, then the ending of this episode, I wish they do every episode like this. Dandelion pretty much sang the
Singing?
events
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
episode.
I
And
really
he
like-
sang. Technically, he was only singing Geralt's part, but it worked with everyone
Yeah.
Mhm.
throughout the episode. And his singing and his sort of tune to it, and how it slowly went off from being a live song to an actual mastered song, was
Which is
actually
funny
pretty
because
cool.
the first time they do it, Jaskier, Dandelion, whatever we call him, probably by the end of this we're gonna be calling him Jaskier.
Yeah.
But he sings a song about like you shouldn't be so trusting, blah 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 blah, and immediately they cut to Siri and was it Siri and Dara or Siri going to the camp?
It was Siri and Dara, I think.
Yeah, and that kind of implies, oh yeah, no, that you can't trust Dara, but no, it was I guess it was either an unintentional thing or maybe a purposeful red herring or something.
Yeah. And
I think it was when she was approaching the camp.
And that line that Dandelion said when he kind of changed the story that happened to Geralt to pretty much make the song more interesting. Geralt's like, that's not how it happened. He replies with, respect doesn't make history, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and Geralt's just like,
I love how I love how innocently Geralt's like, but that's not how it happened. He's
Yeah.
confused. He's like, I don't understand what's going on here.
and then Dandelion just walks off while singing. And Geralt's still thinking about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the song. It just made the ending of the episode just flow so much more better.
I really also like the fact that Dandelion's not popular. He gets a crap thrown at him, but his songs have like a kind of modern flair to it, like
Yeah.
a kind of modern poppy flair, and that's why he's unpopular because
Yeah,
it's not how music is back in the day.
he's a good writer.
How-
Like
How do you guys feel about the witch, the queen head honcho?
Artuzo or whatever.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
queen of Artuzo or the
She-
teacher of Artuzo or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
She's does her role. She's manipulative.
She's
Do you
manipulative.
trust
She's-
her though? Do you think she has
No.
Yennefer's best
Of
interest?
course
No,
not.
definitely not.
Of course not.
Yennefer is just following her because she sees she could become something different.
Yeah,
Power.
she thinks she can be useful to somebody,
hmm
and
You saw that smile of Yennefer's face when she
Yeah.
smiled back at her.
Mhm.
When the queen smiled at her, she smiled back.
Yeah.
She wants that
Appreciation.
appreciation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there wasn't much happened in the second episode, but
A lot happened, but it was more slower and it was more dialogue.
yeah, it was
would
definitely
say.
more. It was
And
more
just
it
story
slowed
building,
down.
world building, and
Yeah.
character building for sure.
There wasn't like any choreographed fighting or anything, but it was still good. I don't
There
know
was a
why.
bit.
I don't know why this was the point where ET decided to skip to episode 5.
Yeah, I don't know. It builds. That's so weird. Like it's building the world.
Yeah,
It-
he was
it-
like, okay, first episode good, second episode.
They
the
were
first
probably
one.
they were probably expecting something that like tells you in your face. All right,
Yeah.
the Arrow CW Arrow show. Here are very easy to understand things in
The
your
person
face.
who watched it just probably doesn't like fantasy shows, and they picked
Either-
him to watch it. for
Either
some
that or
reason.
they knew, okay, how can I get a lot of clicks? Oh yeah, just
I don't want
Be a
to talk
troll.
about their stupidity.
all right.
All right,
9
so
minutes and 40 seconds.
We're gonna end this part here. Then we'll come back when we watch episode 3. See you guys.
Episode 3.
All right, so episode 3, which was called "Betrayer of the Moon," Betrayer Moon, not Betrayer of the Moon, Betrayer Moon.
You had one job.
And I read it wrong. So what do you guys think of this episode?
Great.
It's getting good. So we can talk about
Getting
that.
good is
No,
been
like,
good.
it's really good. We can probably talk about that timing thing now that it's like outright confirmed. It's not like going to be a plot twist. It's just there baked in.
No, it got actually more intricate with this episode.
It got more intricate, but it's very clear that's not
was
a
more in
plot
your
twist.
face.
It's like, all right, you're supposed to have known this from episode 1.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to.
So basically, the timelines of the 3 characters, Geralt, Ciri, and Yennefer, are all taking place during different times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ciri
This
being the
one-
latest, Geralt being in the middle, Yennefer being the earliest.
Yeah. So when we saw Geralt like in the town doing his Witcher stuff, you can assume that Ciri hasn't. Ciri definitely has not been born yet. It was still like decades before Ciri was ever born. Because in the first one, it's they're saying, oh yeah, this queen just won her first battle, but the scene right before that was the queen who's now old. It's like, when I was your age, I won my first war battle or
That was
whatever.
episode 1.
And now with this one, it's the most blatant, where it says, where one scene was like, man, that Nilfgaard king, he got like overthrown by his subjects, and then like 2 scenes later, yeah, that Nilfgaard king, he's gonna get overthrown any second now.
And also the King Foltest part.
Yeah,
that was way more in your face.
that
Yeah.
was the moment where it's like, okay, yeah, very clearly.
Yeah. And this is where we found out where Yennefer's plot line is not on the same path as Geralt. It was actually earlier because Foltest is a kid in that scene that we saw, right? And whereas when Geralt meets him, he's an old man.
I'm usually super on board with asynchronous like storytelling. I wish they I don't wish that they made it more blatant, but I wish the payoff at the end when it's like all the characters converge and all the three plot lines converge, it has to have a good payoff. Because if it doesn't have a good payoff, that means this experimentation would have been for.
I like how it's subtle enough where you have to think about the plot points where like, oh, okay, yeah, this takes place in the past, right?
Yeah.
And I like the way they're doing it. It's normally I don't like this timey stuff, right? But this is done pretty well.
Yeah, but there has to be a reason they do it this subtle. So, you know, if it's just to be, you know, tricky and confusing, then that would kind of fall short. But hopefully there is an actual reason, like later on, whenever they converge.
Yeah, but also even if there's not that much of a reason, it sort of makes sense to give every character their intro story, right? For Ciri, her origin story, and for her origin story are being told together, right?
Yeah, no,
obviously those are taking place at different times.
Yeah, I'm not saying to not tell Ciri's story until later in the story. I'm saying maybe make it more obvious. Like maybe not something so blatant as a time, like a year before every scene, but something.
Okay, we had a lot of fighting in this. This was like a monster of the week.
Yeah,
type
this is
episode.
This episode was a very strong Yennefer episode, mostly in terms of character development.
Yeah, in
Yennefer got
terms
the
of
most.
character development, yes.
Yennefer was finally got strong on her own, stood up on her own 2 feet, and she made her own decisions, and she literally just did what she wanted to do
And
instead
now-
of someone
yeah.
telling her what to do.
and now she is gonna have the Yennefer look.
Yeah,
And I felt like this also was a pretty strong character development for Geralt as well. Because this wasn't just him going to kill a monster and get some money. This was kind of like redemption for him. For how he wasn't able to save
Renfrey?
Renfrey,
Yeah.
right? So he had his reasons for this too. Like his character development is very subtle because he is very monotone, right? So I like seeing that stuff too for this, how Gil changed, and again, I love the fact that we got to see a new monster, and I felt like they did it really nice, right? It wasn't like the first episode where we got to see a little glimpse of him fighting the monster.
this
Yeah.
was finding out what the monster was, and then devising a plan against the monster.
Yeah.
Doing the plan against the monster, and then actually
Yeah.
using the tactics that he planned.
He had to do
right?
the detective work first,
Yeah.
like, all right, who created the thing? How did they create the monster? What what are the contingency plans?
This
stuff
was
like
the
that.
straight up side quest.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
I'm-
In Witcher 3, one of the side quests is you meet a king, right? And like first act, I don't know if you remember, Gurks.
The Bloody Baron.
Yeah, the Bloody Baron, right? It kind of reminded me of that whole thing. How he was questioning the Baron. He's like, okay, do you do this, and this, and
That's
so on.
like a lot of them. A lot of quests are like that throughout the game. But this one was showing basically that Geralt isn't like an almighty being. He has to use his tactics in order to beat these monsters, because he was
Yeah.
getting overpowered quite a bit by this
Yeah,
guy.
and the fact that there was another Witcher there before him.
Yeah, and again, he didn't have white hair, so
Yeah, I just noticed that. I remember that.
yeah, he didn't have
Well,
white hair.
what-
Geralt's the only one that has white hair.
What did you think of Triss?
She didn't have too much of a role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't show too much. She was just introduced as being the advisor for that king, King Foltest, and
Yeah, she was kind of
just introduced herself.
generico ally
Yeah.
character.
I'm a little surprised she was actually there. I didn't expect her to see her this early on in the story.
Well, she plays.
She'll be reoccurring. She'll be in multiple episodes.
She's gonna be a big recurring character.
Yeah.
Because that means they should be meeting up with Ciri relatively soon. That means Ciri should be born while we're watching Geralt's thing.
Well, we don't know if, like, in Geralt's storyline, if those episodes are actually in order. Like,
'Cause-
like,
okay.
Geralt at the Blaviken, and then Geralt meeting Dandelion, and then, well, we know Dandelion was after Blaviken because he called him the Butcher of Blaviken, but we don't know how far between that.
Because
As for
between
Betrayal Moon,
episode 2 and 3, Dandelion went off and sang Bart's tales.
Yeah,
and
So there
people
was
heard it.
we know there's
So-
a significant amount of time between 2 and 3.
and people have heard it.
Yeah.
A lot of people have heard it.
Yeah.
Right? So they've
'Cause
known
it's
about
like,
Geralt.
oh, you got that from the vampire.
Mhm.
You got that from the whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't
Oh, did you
realize
get-
that at first. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more sense because Triss is human. Right?
Yeah, she's a
so she
sorceress.
wouldn't live that long. She would live like a normal human.
Well, what's the difference between Triss and Yennefer? Are they both not
Yennefer's
sorceresses?
got elf blood in
They're
her.
both sorceresses.
Oh, but that's the only reason why Yennefer lives long, because she's quarter elf.
Yeah, she's got elf blood in her.
Oh.
I don't know if it's also to do with magic. Maybe Triss can live longer, slightly longer, because of the magic.
Hmm.
But I feel like Yennefer, she could live for a very long time because of her elf blood.
So one thing that wasn't resolved in this episode, Geralt didn't get Roach back.
Well, he's going to go get Roach
He's
back.
gonna get Roach
He's
back,
gonna
yeah.
get back, but it wasn't shown. So he
Roach,
hasn't gotten Roach back.
Roach is the only character who's actually straight on immortal.
Yo, when Geralt was like, "Don't let anything happen to my horse," and the guy's like, "I'm not scared of you." I'm like, "Motherfucker, you better not hurt Roach."
That's so. I find it so funny when people are like, I ain't scared of the Witcher, and then I'm just like,
he just all he does is approach their face. He's
Yeah.
like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, and I don't know why I don't know why I'm so connected to Roach already. Maybe just because of the game, but 'cause he hasn't done anything in the show yet.
But even in
Roach-
the game, he was a dumb horse. Like he
Oh.
just show up on top of the house or whatever. We're just-
I know, but that was part of his charm.
Roach is Geralt's best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talks to his horse.
He talks to his horse.
It's probably his only friend.
Any other comments? Questions about the?
No, I think episode 4 we're on next.
Yeah. Which is called Of Banquets, Bastards, and Burials. Now that sounds interesting.
All right,
But yeah,
let's
this was a good. So far, the show's going pretty well.
Yeah,
I like the train it's going on.
It
and
has
I'm looking forward to it.
if the payoff at the end of the season is not good, then it could be where it falls apart as a whole. But so far, pretty damn solid. I really really like it.
Yep.
Yep.
And yeah,
No
we'll see you
complaints.
guys when we watch episode 4 then.
Cool.
Yep.
We're off.
Go.
All right, so episode 4 of Banquets, Bastards, and Burials. This was an important episode.
Yeah, but I in my opinion, it was a bit weaker.
It was a bit weak.
It was a bit weaker.
No, I was just making fun of the squeak in your
Yeah.
voice. And you did that.
Thank you for agreeing with me that it was a bit weaker.
I liked the episode. I enjoyed it a lot.
Mm.
So let's get into
So-
your
okay,
point
yeah.
of view first.
First, I really like the Dandelion Geralt at the party. I love that entire thing. Then they cut to Yennefer, which was, I think it was just the CG of the bug that killed it for me. The big bug.
Yeah,
creature.
that happened in this episode.
The Yennefer's half was really boring. I like even her like little monologue with the baby. It didn't really. All we really got from that was Yennefer's regretting everything she did to steal the position.
It wasn't the glamour that she thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I told.
And
But
I,
she said 3 decades.
3
So
decades.
3 decades of her being in the political court of that country.
Yeah.
Aiden.
And it wasn't fulfilling.
Other than that entire plot line was kind of boring. I spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that plotline, even though we just watched the episode like 5 seconds ago.
Series was very small. It was literally just, big forest tree, drink from water. Oh no, okay, you're special. I didn't like Sirius thing either.
It was also the Dara thing where she told him
The Dara thing
that
was.
she revealed that she's Queen Calante.
Mm-hmm.
And also that dream she had was actually pretty messed up.
Yeah, but it was kind of typical.
Yeah,
Like,
Yennefer's part, I feel like it was kind of shoehorned in there. Right?
Series part was very typical. nothing special.
Series part was a little bit more useful, right? Because it showed off
More-
where she was in the
yeah.
forest and what was going on.
but nothing
right?
particularly special.
Yeah, the end of the episode set that up.
And
That's something going
and
on.
then the Geralt thing, which is the main meat of the episode, which was
Fantastic.
I loved the party thing. I loved the queen, the lioness. I loved all that stuff. But the moment Dooney shows up and I have a curse, whatever, and then the guy just kind of smacks him upside the head and knocks the helmet off. It's like, why would you even come with a helmet if it came off that easily? And then the appearance of the hedgehog just looks. That itself looked a bit strange, and then definitely the whole, I disapprove of this marriage, and 10 seconds later, all right, we're doing a double marriage today. Two weddings for the price of one.
Nah, everything that happened at the castle, I think was done great.
Even the floating Shrek-esque.
Yes, all of it was done great.
Why were they flying up in the sky surrounded by a tornado?
Really explained well. I don't know if they're going to explain it later, but the whole thing with Queen Calante and that person, she knew about that law of surprise, Queen Calante, and that's why right when she saw him, she wanted to kill him.
Yeah,
right away.
They explained that right away. Geralt straight up said,
Yeah.
"You knew this. That's why you wanted me to kill him right away."
Mm.
But why the floating tornado?
She was using her powers unintentionally.
She can't control. Oh,
You want to say that again? It is 3:30 in the
it's
morning.
the ability that she can't control.
I know, but it was kind of lame, and they're just kind of floating and spinning
What
in a
what
circle
what,
for
what,
like
what
a
did
good
you want?
12 minutes.
What did you want?
12
minutes.
that.
What did you want?
Something way less corny.
What did you want?
What the hell?
Give me something. Give me a better idea.
Okay, fine. No tornado.
Okay.
Or the removal of the dumbass tornado. The removal of them just standing, circling each other in the air for way too much damn time.
They were
That was
fighting,
so dumb.
But we also got to see Musak and Geralt fight back the tornado. That she was
By
unleashing
going
her
like
powers.
this.
She was trying to unleash her powers.
Yeah,
we got to see that.
It looked lame. Musak was just going like this. He was just holding his hands out and did nothing. Geralt took a potion and then came up and he just went like, and then dropped her. That's it. I thought it was lame.
Well, yeah, I can't change your opinion. Well, you're wrong, but can't change your opinion.
It was lame. This was
Nah.
definitely the weakest episode of the 4 so far, but it was super fucking important.
No, I don't think this was weak at all. I enjoyed it a lot. I felt like it was okay. Yeah, I agree with the fact that Yennefer's whole plotline that was pointless, right? But everything that had to do with Geralt in this episode, I thought it was great. Gurks, what's your views on this? You haven't said anything yet.
There were some points where I thought it was dragged out a bit, but it wasn't too bad where I was getting bored of it, and it was something that I was looking forward to because I knew this was coming.
Mm-hmm.
The law of the law of surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that the Dunny was going to come in. I knew that the Geralt was going to do that law of surprise thing, and I knew that that's how the whole thing's going to connect with Sirius. So I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of got me into it.
But here's the,
And also the fact that Yennefer is now 3 decades past the point of where it was before. This is the point also where their plot lines are going to intersect.
Mm-hmm.
So it opened up that door for me.
Any
as well.
negativity other than the Yennefer part?
Huh?
Any negative?
The bug looked weird.
The bug was weird. The whole Yennefer sequence was a bit weird.
Her trying to save the kid was kind of sad.
Yeah.
Did Geralt's side not feel like a side quest when it should have been like more of a main quest? Because this is how he gets destiny tied to Ciri.
Again, no. I thought
It was
this
a
was
main
done.
quest.
It was a bit silly.
We keep tying into
especially
this
since
game, but we shouldn't.
Yeah.
There's plenty of main quests in the main game where you're walking into banquets with just a dress on.
Yeah.
There's
no,
plenty
it's,
of main quests like that
it's
in the
not
game.
so much that, but the gravity of the situation. Because like I could not take that tornado thing seriously, and then like float. It straight up felt like the end of Shrek, the movie, like Shrek 1 when Shrek and Fiona kiss.
I don't remember anything of Shrek.
It was like that. It was actually very similar to that. Also, Air, do you remember in Witcher 3, the Ciri's dad, who it is?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not going to say anything then. Just to leave it.
It's not the hedgehog.
Well,
It's not Dooney.
kind of is, yeah, but something more about Dooney.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we for time?
I started the time early, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Where?
Yeah,
It-
I really enjoyed the episode. I didn't mind the tornado spinning thing. I thought it was a cool effect because it didn't look bad, right? I'll slightly agree with you that spinning, right? May have been a little weird, right? But otherwise, I did like the force push of them and how Geralt had to and Musak.
I think they Musak.
Musak was trying to fight through that storm, and to show that okay, yeah, this is a bit of what Ciri's power is like. Right.
Did you find that the lioness accepted the thing way too quickly? Or
No.
like, not quickly, but happily.
No, her hand was forced.
No, I know, but she was very, very smiley and stuff.
When?
During
Where?
during the wedding and during the I give thee thy blessing, etc., etc.
Well, yeah, she had to smile. She agreed to
didn't
the
have to
wedding.
smile.
And then when the curse broke, like, that was her biggest gripe, that he looked like a hedgehog. And so once that broke, and she was like, okay, yeah, this works even better. So, like, yeah, I had no
I don't
issue
think
with-
she smiled after the curse was broken, actually.
Maybe she was upset that he wasn't a hedgehog anymore.
I'd
I
rather him be
Really
a
wanted that
hedgehog.
Sonic money.
I do want to comment on one thing, though. Before we watched this episode, we went through some of the reviews on Rotten Tomato, right? And-
That's not important.
No,
Whatever.
I want to bring it up, right? I don't want to say what reviews we saw, whatever. I just want to say how freaking annoyed I am, right, at those reviews. That they're clearly not giving the show a chance. Right?
Well,
They're
it's not-
just-
it's-
they're like, ooh, fantasy. It has to be like Game of Thrones.
If it's not Game
if
of
it's not
Thrones,
a Game of
it's too
Thrones, it
nerdy.
sucks.
It's too nerdy for us.
Yeah, like
We
that,
were
it
we
really-
were too busy having sex in high school. Those kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that really irked me, right? Because this show is so far in the 4 episodes, and ET only made it episode 5, and they skipped 3 and 4.
So I was saying, it before we saw that episode, episode 4. I really enjoyed this show because it is one of the only. It's very rare to have a pure adaptation of a very traditional fantasy thing, because there are lots of books that have these tropes. A lot of books that have these like story beats, but they never get adapted. The only things that get adapted are the complete outliers like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones and stuff like that. Those aren't the typical standards. Those are the outliers. Those are either the progenitors of the series or the things that specifically go out of their way to go against those tropes.
And we're also getting Wheel of Time.
Yeah,
which
guess
is
what?
Pure fantasy.
Guess what those reviews are going to look like?
I don't know what Wheel of Time is, but
Wheel
if it's
of Time-
anything as fantasy related as deep as Witcher is,
Wheel
like,
of Time is pure fantasy.
yeah, if it's and Witcher is not even 100% pure fantasy, right? It's still based in a realistic world. It just has monsters and magic extra
Yeah.
added onto it.
There's the thing I feel like people are angry that they do world building. A lot of people, like mainstream audiences, do not like world building. They like, all right, instant action. Just show me, just feed it like right into my veins.
Because if you look at the Witcher
They don't-
world, it is a medieval
Yeah.
world, right?
Every- yeah.
Even people don't believe in monsters. Like we
Every-
see that in the show.
Every episode we've seen so far has been more about world building and building this universe before like getting the plot. It's set up. It's all like you're building a world that is believable. Otherwise, you're just gonna be like, "Oh, this stuff's happening too fast. I don't believe in this world," and people are gonna complain no matter what.
Yeah,
So that's why
I don't understand these.
That's
these
why I don't
complaints.
care about what other
When you're
reviewers
going into a
say.
show like this, like even when you watch the trailers, what are you expecting? Right? Like this is a fantasy show.
Well, keep in mind, user reviews. The only time you cannot trust the user reviews are when they're like review bombed. So it's like, oh, I don't like this actor. I'm like, even though I haven't seen it, I'm just gonna grade it 0 out of 10 stars.
Yeah, but
that's very clearly not the case
Yeah,
here.
there's 4,000 from what we've seen. There was around 4,000 user reviews. The score is
91%.
90+%,
Yeah.
right? And it was 40 something critic reviews, and it was like 50 something percent, right? And we read some of those critic reviews, and they didn't even know what fantasy was.
Yeah, no. One of them was what was that, Gurkman? What was that one you
It
saw?
was like a D&D role play, something like that.
Yeah. Do you not know what fantasy is? It's like, is that supposed to be a slight? Or
Yeah, like it seems like he said that because that's the only fantasy thing that person actually knows.
Yeah.
He or she, right? And like, oh, they just compared to D. No, man, like that really irks me.
yeah,
Can we
well,
also agree that Dandelion's role in this was hilarious?
Dandelion's
Yes.
great. Dandelion always great.
Like I said, I liked everything at the
Through
castle.
the entire tornado thing, the first thing Dandelion did was grab the girl beside him
Yeah.
and be like, "Are you okay?"
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And also the fact that everybody in the bar just knew his songs by
yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Shows that he's coming up in the world.
All right.
Yeah, but next is episode 5, and this is where I feel the stories are going to start intersecting.
I
which is
mean,
interesting.
there's a reason why entertainment whatever skipped to this episode. So
Yeah, so it's the episode. It's the episode for Entertainment Weekly. But yeah, so
stupid.
next episode's called Battle of the Appetites, and we'll be back.
Yep.
Peace.
Episode 5.
All right, so episode 5, Battle of the Appetites.
I
So
liked it.
Yeah, this is the episode where Geralt and Yennefer's stories kind of intertwine and their relationship sort of goes off.
Yeah, the first encounter.
And and the Jin part happened here too. So this is like
I personally thought this was one of the weaker episodes.
Really?
Yeah. I thought this was a weaker episode.
I thought this was.
I didn't mind it, right? But compared to the last 4 episodes, I felt this was more of a weaker episode, but I understood what this episode was for. This, I felt like, was a setup episode. The two got together, right? And they were setting up something for the next few episodes.
I think it's definitely a weaker episode than the first 3, but it's significantly stronger than the 4th episode in my opinion. Nice.
yeah. Did you guys play the? Do you guys know in The Witcher 3 what the?
Yeah, I know what that quest is. I don't know if Air's got that far.
I can't
The
remember.
the third wish, the last wish, whatever it was called, in the Witcher 3.
I can't remember.
Do you want to say or do you care?
Yeah, go for it.
So the third wish, according to the game, was that Geralt made a wish where they would be in love, basically.
Yeah.
The specific wish is the third wish being I wish our fates were intertwined.
Yeah, and they had an attraction ever since then. And the purpose of that quest was finding out whether that wish was the only reason that they're together. Yeah, so their fates became intertwined after that moment. So that's why right away they went straight for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good episode because first Dandelion just being a little shit and
Dandelion being
trying
Dandelion.
to take the
Jin.
the wishes
Yeah.
was perfect.
I love how you had to mention that the Jin was a genie. Because I feel like the writers knew that, but a lot of people wouldn't understand that.
Yeah. And then going to Yennefer and like seeing, okay, this is how Yennefer is. This is her normal demeanor, and this is her turning her back on this Hogwarts where she grew up.
Yeah, she turned her back on the school. She's trying to find a way to get her fertility, and she's trying to find a cure for infertility. And then she gets caught, and then she does all this, like a bunch of shit happens. This is her pretty much saying, "I'm going on my own path."
I guess that's the point of the last episode, to say she wants her fertility back.
And like this is her basically just going on her own path from now on,
Yeah.
right? And now that she's with Geralt, they're gonna go off and do their thing.
A lot didn't actually happen in this episode.
It was mostly them getting together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's hard to say more than that.
It's not
to
like you
this
could have.
episode.
Yeah, it's not like you could have done more in that episode.
Yeah. We did have a little scene with Ciri.
Yeah,
right?
the Doppler. So Musak is dead now, despite the fact that he's in the game, the third Witcher. But whatever. But Musak got stabbed by a Doppler.
Slowly.
Yeah. So unless that's like a fake stab or something, Doppler shows up, takes his identity, and now it took Ciri and what was the elf?
Dara.
Dara.
It's like Dara's like, "Are you sure you don't want to stay?" "No, we're leaving." And grabs his
Yeah.
hand. He's like, "Let's go."
Dara had no choice.
Yeah, that felt really weird.
I'm like, okay, Ciri clearly didn't learn from her ancestors.
You're my family now. You have to come with me.
You are my slave, elf boy.
What would have made this episode a lot better, in my opinion, is if when that Jin thing broke, right? I really wanted a Blue Bill Smith to pop out and start singing. Do you want a friend like me?
Arabian Nights.
That would have made this show.
You're not wrong. That would have made the episode better.
I was hoping to see the Jin in an actual form rather than
It doesn't have a form.
Yeah, I
like
don't think we need to, because we always see genies with actual forms. So it's like whatever. If this is the one time we don't see a genie with an actual form, it's technically unique. But
And
I'm fine with
like I like how they're like, at the end, like, "Oh, why did you let the Jin go? Now he's gonna go rampant and shit like that." And Geralt's like, "Have you ever seen anyone be happy when they're trapped?" And that was like a perfect metaphor for Yennefer's situation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's why she is gonna leave now. She's gonna
She's
do her
a
own shit.
Jin.
She's a gem. Well, she tried to be, and she failed freaking miserably.
Yeah. That whole exorcist.
The whole Exorcist
Moment
stuff.
that she
Reverse
had.
exorcist.
Yeah.
Reverse Exorcist.
Yeah. Is there anything else to say to this episode?
Not
That's-
really.
That was really it. Really.
This is the most straightforward. It's most straightforward because we didn't juggle multiple storylines because
Yeah.
Geralt and
Two of them
Yennefer-
are now in one.
Yeah.
Now it's just series left.
So the timeline, like Yennefer, obviously jumped forward that 30 years
Yeah.
in that one episode, whereas Geralt was still kind of continuing. However, there was a time gap from because Dandelion straight up was like, "Hey, so
It's been-
when
it's been
did
a
I
year."
see you? Months, years?"
Yeah.
And this
And
was
he did say decade.
I
in
think
there
that
as
was
well.
I think that was figurative because
Mhm.
Dandelion did not look any older, like significantly older.
Dandelion is Dandelion.
I thought
No,
it was.
the decade one kind of made more sense because I feel like the first few were he was joking, and then he's like, "What is it going to take another decade for you to?"
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I think that because what they didn't show Dandelion's face, they only heard his voice, and then he said, "What? It's gonna take another decade for you to call me a friend."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Oh, are we gonna see old Dandelion?" And then we zoom in, and it's like, no, he looks the same. So I have a feeling that decade line was just kind of like a joke, throwaway joke.
Well, maybe he did age. Maybe
Maybe we just didn't know.
he was like in his early 20s, and now he's like in his early 30s, and he looks the exact same.
Well, Dandelion is Dandelion.
Yeah, I Jaskier. No, Dandelion is Jaskier.
Dandelion is Dandelion.
Um,
Any episode of Dandelion is a good episode.
The mayor had a few scenes, one or two. He was a throwaway character. It was
There
like-
there
he
was
there.
one very particular line about who was it? It was Yennefer's old teacher talking about how Nilfgaard had their leader again. That is very important. That's not just a random throwaway line. That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta keep that in mind.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you remember why, Air? Do you remember why from Witcher 3?
I don't remember a lot of Witcher 3. I remember running from the Wild Hunt.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
episode 5
There's,
down.
there's not much more to say. They met up. Some stuff happened, and that was about it.
3 more
Yeah.
episodes.
3 episodes left, and the Wikipedia guy didn't even catch up with us.
I don't understand why E.T. stopped here. Like, this skipped episode 4. I feel like
Well,
that was
they
more
they
of an
skipped
important episode.
Who cares about ET?
They
Like,
skipped episode 3 and 4, and they went to 5. So the whole dynamic between Ciri and Geralt have kind of disappeared for them.
Yeah.
they're just trolls doing
Yeah,
it for clicks.
see,
So stop giving them attention. That's what they want.
It's whatever point from here.
So, 3
Yeah,
episodes left
Yep.
So we have caught up with the guy who's writing the summaries in Wikipedia,
that we've been looking at.
and
You make it sound like we're not actually watching it. We're just reading the Wikipedia
We're just
page.
reading the
No, we're
summaries.
watching
giving
it.
our
We're
reviews.
using the summaries as like
As
a guideline in
notes.
case we miss something. Because these episodes are an hour long.
But you can tell he's getting tired because they're significantly getting shorter than
Yeah,
shorter. First episode was long, and then
Yeah,
just
but
like-
he's probably watching it same like it is 5 a.m. right now. So if he's on the
On our time
Eastern
zone.
North America, coast, then
yeah, he's
He's
only
long
like
gone.
3
He's not-
sentences on this one.
yeah.
I feel like we could do a better job.
Nah.
Let's do it.
I feel like we would have done a worse job. What happened in this episode? Dandelion made jokes. Yennefer and Geralt met up. The end.
All right.
All right, see you for episode 6.
Yep. All right. So episode 6, called Rare Species. This episode we have Geralt and Yennefer going on a dragon hunt. First introduction of dragons in this world of Witcher.
Yeah. Well, I think they mentioned them before.
They mentioned them, but this is the first time we've
Mhm.
had a full episode about dragons.
What'd you think about the CG of the dragons?
It was kind of weird.
I didn't mind it so much. You could tell that it was CG, but
Yeah.
when we saw the CG, what was the CG before? That was very
The bug.
off-putting. The bug, yeah.
Yennefer versus the bug.
That bug guy. I kind of knew the CG for this show was not going to be the greatest because it's a
Which is
TV
weird
show.
because the monster that we had seen at the beginning of the episode where Dandelion ran away from, where Jessica ran away from, right? That looked kind of good.
Which one?
Th-
Oh, the wolf thing.
Yeah, the weird wolf creature.
It's hit or miss on some of them because
Yeah.
the Kikimora in the beginning looked good. The Wraith looked really good too,
Yeah.
and it was
The
just
Kikimora, that's the spider thing, right?
yeah, that was like really dark in the pond though.
Mhm.
But even the Wraith still looked really good. It's just the dragon kind of was off, and the bug man.
Yeah, that bug is the weirdest one. I don't like the design of the dragons. They didn't quite look like dragons. They look more like
They had
pseudo
they had weird heads.
Yeah, they look like baby. They look like what you would call a drake or a wyvern or something like that. Not so much a dragon.
Well, it was a wyvern.
No, but like
because-
a generic wyvern, not like a dragon. You know what I mean? Like the subcategory?
It was a wyvern because the wings were attached to
Moving
the
on.
front arms. Anyways,
Yeah. So this episode basically just starts off with Geralt and Yennefer being tasked along on a job. Well, Geralt and Jaskier
Yeah.
getting tasked along on a job to hunt down a dragon, and then Yennefer pops out of nowhere with some stupid ass knight.
hi guys.
It was very
What was it? What did he keep saying?
for kingdom and
Oh,
glory.
for kingdom and glory.
Pretty much an inexperienced knight that Yennefer was using to get what she wants,
Which were dragon hearts.
which was a dragon heart.
I like Yennefer's plotline all alone. I like Geralt's obviously plotline alone. I don't like their romance, to be honest.
Yeah, okay. Their romance was a bit cringy.
I feel like the romance in general is just a bit
I
cringy.
feel
Like
okay.
Dooney and Catalina's daughter as well was.
So this is the most we've actually seen Geralt speak,
Yeah.
right? Is it just weird? Or was it just me that it's weird that the more he speaks, the more cringy he becomes?
Yeah.
Well, he said that himself. It's like I keep saying stupid ass shit when I'm around you. Right?
Yeah, but it's just like weirdly written sometimes the way he talks.
Yeah.
Before I've never really had that impression. I think it's just a weakness of like the romance
Henry
writing is just
Cavill?
not
Oh,
that
okay.
strong.
Mhm.
Yeah. Henry Cavill is weak at it.
Geralt, yes.
Yeah, that's totally what I meant. No. I just think like we've seen 2 romances so far in the show. Both of them I think are a miss.
How was this whole Siri part?
I didn't mind it. I mean,
How's the whole what?
The whole
the
Siri
Siri part?
situation, yeah.
It not much really happened too much.
Hasn't
It was
happened the last
more.
episode or the episode before that. Nothing really happening with her.
It's more of her just finding shit out on her own,
Mhm.
I guess, right? Her just moving along and trying to survive, because pretty much everyone's just leaving her.
yeah, it's
Because we had Musak, who ended up being a Doppler, and then we have Dara, who just left because she's like, "You're putting me in too much danger."
yeah. Like we were laughing at it the last episode, but she just kind of took Dara. Dara's like, no, I totally
Yeah.
want. I kind of want to stay. It's like, no, you don't. Oh,
Come
okay.
with me. And Dara actually left this time, so Ciri's all alone. We didn't really find out too much about Ciri other than the Doppler finding out that she is special.
Yeah. Do we know why she's special in some way, other than if you know about the game or whatever?
Well, they said that didn't they say about her mother
They didn't really say
that
much.
she has
The gift.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what they're.
They
I thought
said
they were
that,
after
which-
her for a different reason.
which got passed down to her as well, right?
I see. Okay.
Because I think Queen Calanthe even said that. She's like, I thought it would. Oh no, she said that to the mother. She's like, oh, I thought it would skip me I thought it would skip you like it skipped me, but you inherited it. Remember
I
she said
really
that to
like-
the mom, or a Ciri's mom.
Yeah.
I really liked the new companion that they had.
The dragon.
The
The dwarf.
Oh yeah.
The dwarf was funny.
The dwarf was funny. And also
Them
the
being
human.
frozen the entire time was so funny.
And that they had to like pull
Yeah,
themselves out as if they're like
Yeah.
stuck in ice or something.
Yeah,
That's really good.
he was good. The dragon, right?
He's an interesting character.
Yeah, we all
I
kind of
really-
called it.
I really
that-
liked him.
I think
Yeah.
it was meant to be. It's pretty obvious.
It was
Yeah.
it was pretty
Yeah,
obvious.
his
especially-
armor,
he was wearing
his
gold
demeanor,
dragon vest.
and he's like, gold dragons are the rarest.
And when he fell, and then the followers fell like willingly, like all right.
Okay,
Like,
that was really weird. Into the fog.
I wonder if we'll see him turn into a dragon through the fog, or they're just gonna let us wait a couple minutes.
I think
Yeah.
then they made us wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole episode went on to hunt the dragon, and then they found out that the dragon was what happened there. The green dragon was protecting an egg, which is why she
Yeah.
burned the side of the mountain.
But
'Cause
she
there
was
were-
injured in the first. Remember,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
like,
It
"Oh
was the
yeah,
first-
we injured her, but we didn't kill her." But it turns out they did kill her.
They did kill her, and the gold dragon was trying to protect the egg, which is why he brought the Witcher, because the Witcher can't kill dragons to
Yeah.
fight those guys.
Well, the Witcher's trained not to kill dragons because the Witcher knows better.
yeah,
Yes.
and so he brought them so he could fight out the Reavers, and the dwarves didn't do anything. The dwarves were just there, frozen on the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
Dwarf-
I love how
dwarf-
they show up and he goes, "Great, we missed all the action." And you guys like, "All right, cool."
Here's some teeth. Sick. And then they left.
I mean, he did really want to kill the Reavers earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love his shortcut. Hey guys, well, I'll take you to this rickety old bridge.
Yeah,
They
that-
might as well point it to a door that's like dwarf size only.
Yeah.
Oh, it needs a fingerprint from a dwarf specifically. Don't worry, it's fine. Come on.
All right, guys. Episode 7.
7, penultimate.
Yep.
Mhm.
See you guys there.
All right, so episode 7 called Before a Fall. Now this is where all the timelines start connecting.
Finally, this was like Siri did something.
Yeah.
It was like a Siri story.
And not only
So-
that, it's been connected all along.
It basically starts off with Yennefer telling Geralt that you don't care for your kid, right? That's what sparked him to go back to Sintra and finally meet Ciri.
Yeah.
And, meet a fake Ciri.
And his Witcher senses
The
led her-
queen pretty much
led him
sent
to the real Siri.
the queen sent assassins against him and pretty much did everything she can to avoid the law of surprise.
Man, the queen's weird, yo. I don't know.
I get where she's coming from. Her kid.
She loves The Witcher. I hate The Witcher. I love The Witcher. I hate The Witcher.
She's always she liked The Witcher in the beginning before he did the invoke the law of surprise. After
Yeah.
that, she's hated him.
He didn't really want to invoke it either.
he thought it was gonna be like a dog or
Yeah.
something. He didn't think it was gonna be a kid. But yes, and we find out that Geralt was there the entire time
In
during
the
the
basement.
Nilfgaardian invasion of Sintra.
He was just chilling out, praying in the basement.
And
That-
yeah, continue.
Yeah, that Skellige king, just fucked it up for everybody.
What do you mean?
Because he sent Geralt to the prison.
Well, that was on the queen's orders too.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
She said that.
Oh, right, yeah,
Yeah,
because
I couldn't let
the
it
queen
go.
knew. Yeah, I was,
Yeah.
yeah. It's true.
And Yennefer might also be there. Because
No,
they said
she
that.
was.
Tisea said,
true.
"Oh, we're going to Sintra to fight,"
Yeah.
and it seemed like Yennefer was going to go with too, so she might end up being there as well
So
in the next episode.
We'll find out episode 8, I guess.
Well, I feel like the entire that mage,
Plot point.
yeah, like the entire society of mages or whatever it is. I still don't 100% understand what they are.
It's
Like,
just this,
what their organization is, what they do.
it's
They
the
bring
chapter or something like
order.
that. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah,
I guess there's different orders of mages, and like the kingdoms choose an order that they want to get their mages from, and Sintra has always picked the whatever place that
Well, Sintra doesn't
Musak
pick.
is from.
Sintra's always.
Sintra's always been against it, but
Yeah.
they
And
ended
the
up
only
getting
reason
Musak to Skellige.
I believe the only reason they have Musak is
From Skellige.
Mousak is because he's from Skellige,
Skellige,
right?
Yeah.
Because he was attached to Sintra's queen's husband.
Yeah, that king,
Yeah.
king from Skellige or whatever. So yeah, what I'm wondering, like Geralt has been chasing Ciri since the invasion of Sintra.
and Ciri's managed to make it like go to that forest of elves,
Yeah.
and then got captured and got tied to a tree for a while.
So something has happened to Geralt that slowed him down, or something must have happened.
Well, we'll find out in the last episode.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
there's
still,
only one episode. Yeah.
and Yennefer showing like she wasn't in the battle from what I remember.
No, she wasn't.
So does she show up after?
Yes,
Like-
it seems like it.
Yeah, we'll probably find out that the mages came a bit late
Mhm.
or something.
But this was an interesting episode, though.
Yeah, it was.
This
Wait,
is this
hold
was
on.
the reward where we find out everything.
The Nilfgaard's mage was there during the attack.
Fringilla,
Yes.
yeah,
She was there during the order.
Well,
portals.
the portals, man, they teleport. and
True.
stuff.
This is true.
They
Yes.
teleport everywhere.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I found that thing at the end with Ciri a little weird, like the possessive spell casting thing. Just
No,
one of those
she's
weird.
not.
It's the elder blood thing.
This is her thing.
Yeah, no, not so much like that happened, but just how it was shot and edited and stuff like that, it just felt kind of cheap, maybe, or like I
that
don't know.
was okay. It was the guys that surrounded her. I felt that was weird. I'm like, where did you guys come from all of a sudden?
Yeah, well,
That
Well,
was,
it was
were
interesting because
following her or
even
whatever.
at the puppet show, you could see them. They were kept staring at her.
Mhm.
Like in the background, you'll see characters that were just staring at her their entire time because she stuck out, right?
I
So
love
they
I love
spotted
how
her from there.
the storylines merged. I love that back and forth. I'm like, oh, we've seen this scene. Oh, but we haven't seen it from this angle.
Yeah, but one thing we didn't find out, we know what Calante said to Musak, but the other guy, the guard, she told him to do something too. But we
That
don't know
was
what he-
give
that was-
everybody the poison.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember
To
he?
adjust, like all the families the poison.
Oh, okay,
Right.
Yeah,
That we already saw.
yeah.
okay, never mind.
And yeah, cause that covered that whole
Hmm
face.
They pretty much brought that whole segment together, the invasion of Sintra.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of funny. I can understand why some people would be pissed off. Like, wait, Geralt was there all along. What was the point of it? But I find it kind of ironic and like
yeah,
a
it's like
fake sort of way.
it hit us. Like we were surprised, right?
We were trying to figure out which timeline is this.
Yeah,
It's the current
We're
one.
like, wait, Geralt was in Sintra the entire freaking time in the basement.
Yeah, they were just like
This is-
running around in circles.
It's
Right.
interesting though.
Dope.
But
Mhm.
next episode, everything's gonna.
I
come
really have
together.
nothing else left to say to this episode. I kind of want to just get back to the next episode.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to.
like as it was ending, I'm kind of like, should we go record or do we just watch the next episode right away
Mhm.
and then record both?
All right, so we're just gonna wrap it up here then. We'll be back.
So we'll be back for episode 8. All right, episode 8, the last
The final
episode, the
episode
final
of the season.
episode.
The season, season 2 has been confirmed.
Well, it was confirmed before the series even started.
Exactly, and it finally happened.
It's
We waited so long. for
all
this
has
moment.
come together. Everything has come together. So this was the big final battle, but Geralt fought like 3 ghouls and was in a wagon the rest of the episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was very much not for the season finale.
Mhm.
Very very little Geralt.
It was mostly Yennefer was doing a massive war. Geralt was fighting his inner demons or some shit like that with his mom, issues with his mom and shit like that.
Yeah, that was like out of left field.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
And
the
then we
whole
had
mom, the whole mom thing was a bit weird.
we had the whole
Uh,
Destiny thing, Renfrey coming back in for
I
a
think-
few things as well.
I think it's more so to set it up for season 2,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm, definitely,
I loved the ending.
it was a
right?
good ending.
Just that last sentence.
I was about to say I feel it's kind of anticlimactic how Geralt and Ciri finally meet. Like the entire build up in this last episode, I feel like it dropped the ball. But then
And Geralt
who
says,
is Yennefer? That's pretty funny.
It's jokes because me and you were, when that farmer or merchant picked up Geralt and took him on his wagon. He's like, "Oh, I'm taking you to my farm." We're like, "That's where
it.
Ciri is,
Yeah.
right?"
We're
And
like,
then
finally.
Ciri freaking runs, and then
Oh my
Geralt
God.
drives in, and we're like, "No!"
I was like, don't do this again.
But luckily, Ciri just ran away. It seems like, and they found each other finally.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of the final battle, though?
I'm-
The battle with Nilfgaard and the mages.
Well- okay, you guys go first.
Okay, so for this whole episode, I thought it was a little drawn out,
Mhm.
right? There should have been more story points to this, right?
Yeah.
I do miss more Roach and more Dandelion,
Yeah, I thought Dandelion would be in this episode.
and but over the war itself, I wish there was a bit more magic that we saw,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, the magic felt kind of very budget and not really that inspiring. Like
Yeah.
there could have been some cool. That thing with the portal and the arrows was as interesting as it got.
That was pretty
I
cool.
wonder what the budget for this actually was. It feels like they were tied up a lot in budget.
Could be.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I didn't really care about the battle itself because a lot of these mages are people we don't really know or care about.
Well, they're all dead anyway.
Well,
so
yeah,
who cares?
exactly. They're all dead. So you kind of feel nothing.
I
when
do
they-
like the calls to Vesemir.
Yeah, Vesemir is gonna make an appearance at some point.
Yeah, there
You know
was
that.
a thing online saying that the actor who played Luke Skywalker,
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
People
Mark
want
Hamill.
people want
Yeah,
Mark Hamill to
people-
play Vesemir.
And he's like, I'll do it, whoever he is.
He would make a pretty good Vesemir.
Yeah, he would. I
Yeah.
think he would.
I do like that we got to see just slightly the most tidbits of Witcher background.
Yeah, I was really shocked I didn't see a single thing about Kaer Morhen, but it's been long gone since the beginning of the series. Anyway.
Yeah, and then the fact that they mentioned we had little sneak peeks at how Witchers were created, and this
The
was
trial
shown
and
a little bit
mutations.
more, right?
Kind of gave out it kind of talked about how dangerous those mutation trials are. That the young
3
people
out
have
of
to
10.
go through. 3 out of 10 survive.
Yeah.
Geralt also took extra
Yeah, the fun-
mutations as well.
The,
Yeah.
the funny thing is, if more people than 3 survive, they end up arbitrarily killing a bunch. Just, to keep it even, keep the numbers at 3.
Is this supposed to be a joke?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, where are you going with this?
I'm like, did you read something?
For the first time ever, we have 5 survivors.
But
pulling up the sword, not for long.
King Foltest's army did show up at the end there.
Yeah, the
They
very
didn't
end.
really show much from there though.
Yeah.
So
I just imagine he shows up and it's just like, oh, just go back.
everyone's dead.
You know what I want to do now that we've seen all the 8 episodes, right? I kind of want to go back through each episode, right, and see what other tidbits they hid it back there. Like one of the things I noticed was the town that got run over. Slipping my memory. Cersei's town.
Sintra?
Sintra, yeah.
Did you say Cersei?
Cersei.
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 Sintra's tower was this like black obelisk thing, right? And we actually see quite a bit of that throughout the series, right? And so I want to go back and see more little tidbits that they hid to show off all the time thing.
Yennefer also disappeared somewhere.
Yeah, we know she's not dead, but
She's not dead, but she disappeared somewhere.
yeah, I don't know. Series stuff throughout the season was kind of more the weaker stuff, but I was more interested in series stuff than Yennefer stuff.
Series stuff was what was the lead up towards this mostly.
Yeah.
Geralt and Yennefer stuff was mostly world building and character building up until episode 8 or 7, the episode before this.
Yeah.
That's when everything started to come together.
But I don't really particularly care so much about Yennefer that they spend an entire episode mostly on her.
The whole Yennefer Geralt when they got together, I say individually it was world building, but when Yennefer and Geralt got together, that stopped being world building. It
Yeah.
just became about them mostly, right? And
Well,
that story was very stagnant, right? It wasn't really progressing anywhere. Like we know the dynamic between them, right? And it kind of just kept looping through that, right? Like we saw with the episode, I think it was 6, right? And but this episode, we got to see a lot more of Yennefer, right? Which was cool. We got to see a little bit of Ciri. I wish she did more than just run around, right? And
She
I
doesn't
don't
know anything.
She didn't even actually speak in this episode. She
Not
kind of
really,
just
no.
spoke right at the beginning, and that was about it.
She had like one line, which was,
Who's Yennefer?
"Where's Yennefer?"
No,
Who's-
at the very start of the episode, they're like, "Oh, what happened here?" And she's like, "Oh, they came after me."
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, she
So
said that.
after
and then she said,
after that, she didn't speak at all.
"Where's Yennefer?"
And yeah, and we should have the whole Geralt fighting the ghouls. That was pretty cool, right? And then he just went transing.
It was okay. It was pretty cool, but then it felt like, they just needed an excuse to write out Geralt for this episode and make him like preoccupied because
Well, this actually happens in the book as that.
it
Like,
does.
I read into it a bit. Apparently, this is one of the this is how he meets his mother face to face. He sustained a huge injury. Which is this.
I did wanted to see more of Tessa,
Tessaya?
right? Because like she's this like grandmaster, right?
Well, she's still alive.
And I know, but she didn't do anything during the war. She
tried
kind of
to
made her
talk to
hands glow, and that was about it.
She pretty much tried to go to the source and talk to Fringilla, but Fringilla pretty much sneak attacked her with some black smoke.
And we didn't see Fringilla afterwards, or the Nilfgaard leader afterwards.
Yeah.
Or
What
the
hell-
general or whatever he
Yeah,
is.
what was with that one dude, Vulgar, auto? Yeah,
The guy with the sword he could call
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Well, that guy's ability is pretty cool. I don't know what happened to him.
Well, yeah. Why did he kill the other
don't know why
guy
he
so
killed him.
brutally? At first, I thought I was putting it out of his misery, but
And
then,
then
it
he's like,
worked-
no.
yeah.
No, he just kept going, and they didn't really show much of that. So I guess he comes back after.
I guess we'll have answers, but
Mhm.
as a season finale, I didn't feel like it was the strongest episode. It wasn't a weak episode, but it definitely wasn't near the strongest that this season has been.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are you guys looking forward to in season 2?
The character dynamics.
Resume.
Finally building up the actual storyline. This
More-
was mostly world building and character.
More
development.
monsters.
There is one really cool thing about the background stuff that I know you know about,
Mhm.
but Air, you haven't picked up on it, so I don't know if I should say it or not.
He's played the game. He should know.
He's played the game, so he should know. But
Mhm.
I can't say it. They're gonna cover it in season 2, hopefully. But like,
He's so
Okay.
confused.
but yeah, that stuff, the
Mhm.
blow up of that stuff, that's what I'm looking forward to in season 2, and Wild Hunt stuff.
Wild Hunt. That's
hopefully?
way later, I think.
Is it? I thought it
Yeah.
was like throughout the books.
Siri, it is, but
She was much older.
it takes more effect when Siri gets a lot older.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Siri disappears for a bit, right? She
Mm.
leaves for a bit.
Yeah.
to
And she
run
goes
away.
to Cyberpunk
She
2020.
just travels to different worlds or some shit like that.
2027. That's what it was, right?
But I'm excited for season 2 because
Yeah.
this entire season was based on those short stories. So this wasn't even the full concisive story. This whole
Yeah.
season was based
The
on
biggest
short stories.
downside is that we have to wait another year.
Yeah.
Well,
Isn't it great that everybody just like, damn it.
at least Gurkmal has some Mandalorian to catch up on, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm on the
for
last episode. I gotta watch that.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I have to watch Mandalorian. I'm also playing Witcher 3 again. I started
Yeah.
from the beginning.
Fitting.
Yeah, Roach.
Yeah. I
The
still
best.
didn't touch Gwent.
Yeah.
I tried. I'm like, oh, I'll try Gwent this time. Then in the beginning, I'm like, this is stupid, and I quit. And I just
Hopefully-
I
went
know
on
it's
to
a
do
little
more
hard to
quests.
understand, but
Hopefully for
You'll get
season
used to it.
2 they give a higher budget,
Yeah.
right? We'll see.
Well, considering the audience success it's had, I'm assuming it would.
yeah,
I get
I do hope Netflix takes that more into account than the reviews.
I
Yeah,
think
because
they
they didn't
definitely
do
will.
too well based off critic reviews, but
No.
it did pretty good on user reviews.
Which is
It kind of, I guess the critic reviews is expected because this has a lot more fantasy elements than Game of Thrones does.
mhm.
Like a lot, right? Which we know that a lot of critics aren't too fond of because fantasy's never really done well
Yeah.
in a TV series. So that's probably why.
Final thoughts.
I liked it. The series overall, I really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited for season 2.
Yep.
I liked what this season has actually built up to for
Yep.
Geralt and Ciri as characters.
I think I agree. It's a very, very solid show. It started off very, very high, and even though it had a couple of lows, it still finished well.
Yeah. Same. I really enjoyed the show. I want to say more monsters though, going forward. A little bit more of the. I want more fantasy, which is why it's not getting critically.
Wait, yeah, why isn't Geralt using more signs than just
Yeah.
Ard?
Like we noticed at the 7th episode that like just use magic, just use
Yeah.
art or like Igni or whatever.
Or Axie?
Yeah. It could be. It could be. Maybe he doesn't know it yet. Right.
You can't be a Witcher without knowing that stuff, though.
You learn those in the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird. Because I'm pretty sure Axie would have been very useful in some parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I use it all the time in the game. It was one of the first things I leveled up. But yeah.
Actually, it's mind control, right?
Yeah, that's the one you could.
It's my favorite one because one time I was playing Witcher 3 at your house, Air,
Yeah.
and there was a dialogue thing where you were with Triss and you were at like some bandit locale, and you use the sign to like bypass the thing, and the guy has gone under, but the guy beside him, he's like, "Hey, he just used mind control."
Yeah. So go check it out if you haven't watched it yet.
Highly recommend it
Yeah.
if you guys are a fan of any sort of fantasy series. This is
And
definitely going to scratch that itch.
let us know what you think. You can reach us at dayoneupdate@gmail.com. No, dayoneupdatecast@gmail.com. That's dayoneupdatecast@gmail.com. Or you can reach us on Twitter and Instagram and now YouTube at dayoneupdates. And YouTube is dayoneupdate.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you guys did enjoy this new kind of recording style we did, where we watched an episode and recorded it right after, 10-minute bits basically, let us know. And we
what do you
might
guys
keep
rate the
doing
show?
it.
I would give it
A decapitation over Ard.
That
Yes.
your ratings make no sense.
All our ratings
Like,
don't make any sense.
But some of them have like some similarities. Yours is like Ard doesn't even decapitate.
That's why.
I give it. Damn, I'm trying to think of something clever. I was gonna give a real number though.
One silver sword over a steel sword.
Okay.
I'd give it a roach out of a crappy Nilfgaard armor that apparently won't be coming back in season 2.
Oh,
They're changing costume
One
designers for
criticism?
season 2, apparently.
Roach isn't doing enough stupid things in this show.
Yes. We should see him on top of a house.
Yeah, there should have been a background scene of Roach just chilling on top of a house.
Or swimming upside down in the lake.
Yeah.
We needed that. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this style of recording, let us know, and we'll do it for the next few shows that we decide to do this with.
Maybe.
And thank you guys for listening. If you did enjoy it, please share with anyone you
I'm
know
willing
that
to
might
rewatch
enjoy this.
Mandalorian if you want to do it for that.
No.
No.
Too soon. But yeah, again, if you guys did enjoy it, please share with any of your friends you think that might enjoy this or wants to watch The Witcher and wants to hear us talk about it. But yeah, that's about it. See you guys next time. Thanks for listening.